Alright, when you get into camp, if they don't have cables or bear boxes to put your foods and other smellable items in, you have to hang your bag in a tree to hopefully keep the bears and other things like squirrels and raccoons and things out of your foods. To do so, to hang it the PCT method, you carry a little, you have a bag, a little rock bag. This is what I actually keep all my rope in. And I can't remember the name of this rope, but it's a, it's not the paracord. I used to use paracord, but it was a lot thicker and it ended up getting hung up and it just caused me a lot of problems. I went with this. It's a little bit lighter. It's slickier than the paracord, which I do like, but I'm getting some little frays in it that I'm not very happy about. May have to cut that part off, but for the most part it does a pretty good job. It does not tangle easily, and it doesn't get hung on the tree bark like the paracord does. Anyway, I keep my little rope in this little bag here. When it's time to hang my food bag, I will attach this clip to this bag and I'll throw this up over as high a limb as I can find. They recommend 15 to 20 feet off the ground so that when you final resting place of your bear bag is at least 12 feet above the ground. Alright, let me get that done. Alright, I've got my rope on the limb by throwing this rock bag up over it. Alright, now that I've got the rope up over the limb above me, I take off the rock bag and I will clip on my food bag. Now, this is, some people will go ahead and from this point they'll just go ahead and pull this bag up as close up into the air, and then they will take this, the other end of the rope, and they'll tie this to a tree, and that effectively does hang your food bags, and it gets it up off the ground away from bears. However, when you take this and you just simply pull that up and tie this to a tree, a bear, because of their sharp claws, and they have learned that they can come and just swipe at the rope and cut it, which means your food bag comes down and they enjoy their meal. And you won't have breakfast or lunch or supper for the next few days. So that is not a good idea. The best method that I know of so far is to use the PCT method. It is more bear proof than simply just tying this off to another tree. To do the PCT method, you will run your rope back through your carabiner like this, and then you will pull and your bag will go up. Now let me pull that up and then I'll show you what you do next. Alright, as you can see, I pulled until I got my bag up pretty high. I would go higher than that. I would go almost up to the tree, but I would not pull tight against the tree. I've actually got myself in a bind because one of the carabiners got hooked on a little tiny nub of something and got stuck. So I go close, but not all the way. And then you would attach. You would have already found a stick lying around, a good sturdy stick, one that's not rotten, which sometimes can be hard to find. I mean, usually the ones that are laying on the ground are there because they are a dead limb and they're rotten. But anyway, find a good sturdy stick, and let me show you what you do with that. Alright, once you have your stick, you would reach up as high as you can, and you would wrap around this side to the right of where the string is. Whoops, see, look, this stick's not that great. You would wrap around this side once. Then you would make a little loop, go around it, come over the end of the stick, and then tighten this down so it holds that line. When you let your bag down, the stick goes up and stops there at the carabiner, making the bag hang freely. Now a bear cannot use its paws like this. It cannot pull on this. The only thing they could do possibly is to climb a tree and go out on a limb, reach down and pull the rope up. However, if you choose a limb that's not too big but not too flimsy, then they won't do that. However, I have heard of bears sending their cubs out to do this dirty job for them. I think that's probably kind of a rare thing, but anyway. So anyway, your bag would be safe away from the bears. Now you can see here, this is not a high enough limb. I'm just in my yard. I didn't feel like walking all the way out and finding a tree that had a taller limb. This is strictly just to demonstrate. This would not be high enough to keep it out of reach of a bear. They could easily get this because they can stand on their back feet. But anyway, let me show you what I made to take the place of this stick, and I'll explain why. I made this. It's made out of a piece of cedar. I'd like to whittle, well, there comes my bag. I like to whittle, and not that I'm good at it, but I enjoy doing things like that. So I had been thinking about using the stick method in the problems I have had, and I came up with this. Now let me explain why. The reason I made this is because when you're out and you're getting ready to hang your bag, you have to look around for a stick. Now, it doesn't take a whole lot of time, but sometimes I have run into areas where they either weren't a lot of limbs, sticks on the ground, or the ones that were down were rotten and would not be sturdy enough to hang my bag with. So I made this because I will keep this in my rock bag and it will always be handy. The other reason is because I have tied one of these sticks on before and have had one break. But then as this was going up towards the bag was coming out, I had the crazy thing flip a little bit, jam itself into my carabiner and get stuck. And it would take a fair amount of pulling to get it undone. And it's just, anyway, it's created a headache for me. I just want something a little simpler. I don't have to go look for a stick. I don't have to worry about it snagging my line. I don't have to worry about it hanging up in my carabiner. I made this. I just got these notches in where you would tie that on just like you would do the stick, and I'll show you how to do that now. When you hang your bear bag, you need to pick a limb that's 15 to 20 feet off of the ground. And you need to be sure that you have it hanging over the limb at least 6 feet away from the trunk of the tree. And when at the final resting spot, the bag needs to be 6 feet down from the limb, 12 feet above the ground. So 6 feet down from the limb, 6 feet away from the trunk of the tree, and 12 feet off the ground. And there it is. Bag comes back down, and there we are. My food is safe. Then always be sure you undo this before you try to retrieve your line from the limb. One other piece of advice I could give, you'll find when you're out hanging up your food bag, bear bag, you'll find that a lot of people have the same type bags, either the same color, same brand. Put some kind of marking on it so that when you go and you're looking straight up in the tree, or even on the bear cables, that You can identify your bag from other people's. I just drew some mountains on here. I'm also going to get some a piece of reflective tape and put on here. That way I can locate it. If it's dark, I can use a flashlight and find it. If I can't make that out. But anyway, that just kind of identifies mine from others, and I don't end up getting the wrong food bag, or nobody else will get your food bag. I doubt you'd be wanting to eat each other's food. Just a little tip. Also, another tip is when you're putting away your rope, well, for starters, you get your cat out of it. When you go to roll it up to keep it from tangling, if you do it this way, hold that between your, hope you can see that, your pinky, then you go around your thumb and you do a figure 8. Till you get near the end. You slip your fingers out of it. You take the remaining rope, wrap around it, and then you can stuff that into your rock bag. Daddy! My dog keeps trying to slip off and roll in somebody's poop, or some animal's poop. I'll keep my little whatever. I'll have to give that thing a name. I don't know what you call it. That thing in there too. I need a new bag. That is terrible. There's a silly willy. I guess getting a dust bath. My gosh. To be an old cat, you sure do move fast.